What's up? Good morning. Guys, I'm just gonna go make some coffee quick. Seems to be a lot of volume coming through Asian session. Look at that drop here on GJ through the night. It's crazy. Morning, Prakash. Yeah, this is crazy. Maybe we'll catch some of these continuation sells here on GJ. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Gonna make some coffee, so get comfy. Go get yourself some coffee if you need. We're gonna start shortly. Alrighty, let's do this. So I think we can have some cleaner movement on GJ today. Gold is pulling back right now, and we are obviously moving into some support areas, so it's gonna get a little bit choppy, moving back into this consolidation area right here. So let's first break down GJ and we'll move to gold. So starting off on the weekly, we've basically tapped into our first targets here, filling these weekly wicks. We've tapped into 160, 16500, that area. Sorry. So our next target is going to actually be down here at the weekly support. Alright. Now we've already moved quite a lot today. So ideally you would want to see a bit of a pullback first to get these sells. But we have had this minor pullback here. Okay, support formed, we had a little bit of a pullback. And we have now broken support. So at this point, if we stay below this support here on this hourly candle closure, we could definitely see price continue to move down here. Let's just look to the left for some targets. Okay, so our most recent support kind of lines up with this area right here. And then we got pretty clean traffic moving down to here. Okay, so this looks pretty decent here for targets today. Alright, we're moving down and we've got some nice fairly clean ranges moving down to 1595.90, targets at 159, 160 and 1585.50. Alright, so we'll be looking to move into some of those levels today. I'm going to adjust this to support to right here. And let's have a look. Okay, so this support that I've marked up is based off what we see on the left. You could obviously have this right here at the most recent support. Pretty much of a muchness. I think it's going to be safer if this hourly candle can close below 159.980, and we can then potentially look for sales here on the new hourly candle. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait for London here, London open, and then potentially get some sort of pullback, maybe even a fake out of this level right here, to continue moving down. So the reason we're looking for sales is obviously right now we are in a downtrend. Okay, very clear to see we are printing lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Alright, morning. So pretty straightforward in terms of direction. Now we just need to wait for a setup. We are seeing some pound weakness or yen strength. Like I say, on the higher time frames, makes a lot of sense at this point for us to move back into this weekly support before then deciding if you want to continue moving up in price here. Okay, let's have a look at gold quick. Morning. Okay, let me remove all of this. Okay, so overall on gold, let's just speak about gold. Right now, you are seeing price move up, alright? But overall, we are still in this bearish trend. So at any point, we could start to move back down. And when we get that sell side liquidity back, we should have a nice move down, right? On this pullback, if you're looking back on gold, when we are in this bearish trend and we pull back, things can get kind of messy. So we're just gonna have to be aware of that and what phase we are in the market right now. So we are in a pullback or corrective phase, and as you can see in these pullbacks and corrective phases in gold, we can get a little bit choppy before we start to see this downside liquidity or downside movement continue. So I believe we will only start pushing down. You know, I believe we still have range to move up into 1800, and I believe that's a pretty good level for price to tap into before we move down again. So for the time being, we are looking for buys, but like I say, we need to be aware what's going on here. Things can get choppy, so we need to make sure that we have that volume on our side and we are taking you know, the best possible setups. Morning. So here in gold, we had this resistance. Okay, we moved up yesterday or this morning, Asian session. We had this nice move up, and then we broke back into this range. So right now, this is, you know, not all that clean. I reckon best bet for today is if we could get an hourly candle closure bullish back into this range, and we look for buys back up to the highs here at 1780. I think for me that is going to be the cleanest trade here on gold. We could maybe even refine this resistance level on a lower time frame here and say that we want to see a closure above 1774. If we could close above this resistance with volume, I believe we should move up back into these highs. Yeah, gold is pretty choppy at the moment, and I think it will continue to be choppy. For sells, let's see. This is not a bad range for sells right here. Pretty clean traffic there to the left, and we would obviously be breaking some structure. Would make sense for us to then move down to the support. But from this support area, we could definitely see some sort of rejection for price to continue to move up. GJ, sorry, hourly candle closure. Let's see how it closed. So we have closed kind of right on that level. Okay, based off the hourly, we have cleared these support areas. It's pretty clean on the hourly actually. And we do have this wick to fill now, so that is definitely a possibility. But this hourly candle's already pushed down, created a bottom wick. We're pushing back up now, so let's see if we can create a steeper top wick. Just trying to think here in terms of entries. Alright, the hourly candle closure is not too bad, but I'm just not too comfortable with the setup here. Okay, below this support that we formed here on the 15 minute, there's still, a 26 pip range, and then if we do continue to move down, there's plenty of range moving down, 70 pips, 130 pips. So I think I'm gonna just be patient here with these sales. Right now it's a little bit, yeah. You see, I'm not comfortable that this candle drove straight down and didn't have a top wick. I'll feel a little bit better if we create a steeper top wick and come back down and re-break the lows. But at that point, I think it's going to be better to just wait for a closure below support here. Yeah, you see here looking on gold. It looks like we are starting to pull back from this move up. Okay, so it looks like we may correct some of this move up. Now, like I say, these corrective moves can get choppy. Now you can see it on the lower time frame as we move bullish, and as price pulls back, things can get choppy. So we could have that kind of sideways movement all the way back to, you know, this trend line, you know, maybe moving into 1760 before continuing back up to the highs. So we're just gonna have to be patient here on gold. Morning, morning. But I think for the time being, buys above here are gonna be pretty clean. Buys above 1774. And sells below 1770. On GJ, we could have sells, you know, depending on how our price sets up, we could have sells off of any of these levels here today. We can move all the way back up into 160, 400, form resistance, and move back down to the lows here at 159, 850. So at this point, we just got to wait for the setup. We've got our levels marked up. Pretty clean, clean traffic here today. But we just need to see how price is going to set up here. Are we going to close below support, or are we going to pull back a little bit further? For news today, obviously we don't have too much. We've got some GBP news at 8. Pretty low impact news. Let's have a look. June 30th. So yeah, I don't think that news is going to do too much for us today. Don't need to worry too much about that. There's a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. What's that lady's name? Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi is going to Taiwan tonight, so China's not too happy with America right now. And yeah, if anything stirs up here, we could potentially see some more upside on gold, of course. So good to be aware of these things. China conducting military drills. There's cuck on the way, but should be fun for us day traders. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna close back into this range here on the 15 minute, and if we do, we could definitely see price move back up to resistance here before continuing down. So that's potentially what we'll be waiting for today. Now just remember, when I say sells off this level or sells below this level, you know, you need to still wait for confirmation. You're gonna see everything that I do. You're gonna see what I'm waiting for, when I'm taking the trade, all of that. So don't just take sells as we tap into this level. We need to wait for confirmations. Morning, guys. Morning. Welcome back. Let's see. On a 5 trade win streak here on the stream. Let's see if we can keep it up. Obviously 8 pips, you know, nothing crazy, but yesterday I would say was a pretty good start to the month. We did all the right things, managed risk the way we should, and you know, secured profit where we had planned to. So yeah, things moved a bit quick, but that was the best possible trade for the morning, I reckon. You can see, guys, we're looking for buys yesterday, and yes, price moved up for a little bit. But after that, man, we just sat in consolidation for the rest of the day. Before then, we continued with those sells. So, like I said, guys, we're in a downtrend. Careful with buys. To me, there was nothing really clean for buys at all. Obviously, we discussed a closure above this resistance. We could move up into 162, which we did. But yeah, I wouldn't say that was the cleanest. Because really, if you look at it like this, that move up and that time where we consolidated above that range, so we had this range right here which we sat in the morning yesterday, and then we broke above and we consolidated for a bit. Now this was basically just a fake out, which we discussed on the stream, and as soon as price broke back into this range, we moved to support. Once we broke below the support, wow, obviously Asian session once again moved without us, but nice, bro. That's great, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep it up with the sales today. We'll see if we can get a nice setup here. What do you think about gold? Well, here's my analysis for the day. Alright, we got pretty clean traffic above this resistance, moving back up to the highs. And then, you know, we got a small range here, which I don't think is too bad for sales below this support. Other than that, man, it's pretty choppy here. It is pretty choppy. Obviously, we are trending up right now, so it would be much cleaner to get those buys. But like I discussed earlier on, we could pull back all the way into 1760 before moving back up to these highs, moving to 1800 before then moving down. So I think, you know, later this month when those that selling pressure kicks back in, we should have some nice movement back into the lows here at 1680, 1700. So like I said, just being aware of what phase we are in the market is going to help us with our approach. So as we are in this corrective phase and maybe move into some consolidation here on gold, we just need to be extra patient, practice discipline, and manage risk. You know, wait for, preserve your capital until we do get those heavy bearish days later this month where we can really kill those sells. GJ, on the other hand, is pretty clean at the moment. Yeah, Asian session has been clean, man. It's been so clean, so nice, that they don't really leave us much left in London, eh? But yeah, we'll make do. We'll see what happens here today. Ian is stealing all the moves, man. Stealing all the moves. Please leave us some. Yeah, even on gold, Asian session has been cleaner than New York. So yeah, most likely going to have to wait for London Open at this point. So we've got about 40 minutes. There's no rush. I've been looking at the yen basket index. Made it a lot easier for GJ. Alright, let's have a look. There was a time where also I looked at the dollar index to get an idea of, you know, what gold would do. But I found it easier to just follow the price action of gold. Yen basket index. Well, I found it this way. Yeah, wow, look at that. That looks exactly like GJ right now, just upside down, obviously. Yeah, based off this, we could maybe see some retracement today. We've tapped into resistance right here. Okay. And if we close below this support, you know, this pretty much clean traffic. I don't know if these are pips or what. Points, 71 points. So if that's the case, if that's the case, maybe we do move up a little bit here on the yen, or GJ should I say. Yeah, okay, look at this. There's resistance on the 15-minute right here, so buys above there makes sense. Profit achieved, 5 USD. Alright. Just gonna say buys off resistance, sorry, sells off resistance. Because like I say, we could pull up, form resistance anywhere within this area now, and then continue to move down. But if we can break above 166.60, we can have buys above this level. Gold moving up, so like I said, a nice hourly candle closure, bullish above 1774 would be pretty good, and we could get buys. So we'll see London open how this candle's closing, and we'll potentially have buys at 9 o'clock here on gold. Yeah, obviously just in this consolidation right now. So close out of this little range. If we can close above it, then we're closing back within this range, which is not too bad. For price to move up back to 1780. The 4 hours pretty ugly, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty bearish 4 hour candle. But basically had no top wick or bottom wick. And you know, that candle didn't close below support or anything. We closed above this resistance and support area. So price could definitely move back up to these highs before then maybe correcting further. We'll just have to see. If we break the highs, there's obviously more range moving up to, you know, 1789. Yeah, no. Um, Generally, when I say we'll have a trade at London Open or on the new hourly candle, I mean that we will wait for the closure and we'll wait for a wick to form. Sometimes on GJ, we will take those impulse entries as the can, or not impulse entries, but manual execution as the candle closes. Oftentimes you can see GJ won't leave you with much of a top wick, so closure below, and then move down. Yeah, you can see this London Open candle right here. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Look, like one in maybe 10 trades on stream will be an impulse entry of some sort. So generally we are just waiting for closure and for the wick to form on a new candle before entering on either the flip or the break of the hour low. Obviously this candle has no top wick yet, so if we flip bullish, then there's a pretty high probability that we fill this wick here of this previous candle and maybe move a bit further up. GJ 1 hour flipping. What's up, Shaker? Yeah, we're just waiting for London Open at this point. Pretty nice liquidity grab on this hourly candle here before London Open. So if we do close small bullish below, you know, 160, 080 on the lower time frame, that's a fake out as well. And then a break below some of these lows here, we could easily move to the next support at London Open. Morning. And if we close bearish, yeah, obviously then a break of the lows, there's a even higher probability we move down to support. Gold looking pretty tasty. Moving back above this minor resistance right here. Looks like this 15-minute candle made its close above, but we need to wait obviously for another 15 minutes here for London Open, because at London Open, like we've discussed here in the chat, we can get that pullback, that whipsaw, as Stevzo said. Yeah, we can get whipsawed, definitely. So we're going to wait for a bottom wick on the new hourly candle before getting involved on buys here. But don't worry, you'll see everything I'm looking for. We've got 20 minutes to go. I'm really sleepy. Same. There's an uptrend on gold, which is being respected. Definitely. Yeah, if gold just moves up here, leaving us in the dust, obviously there's nothing we can do. Your next bar is obviously going to be on the break of this resistance, so okay, gold, stay right there for 20 minutes. We need gold to stay right there. It's a big ask, so like I say, if price drives up here and we don't get involved, it's just one of those things, guys. It's nothing you can do. If you want to take buys right now, be my guest, but don't cry to me when you get clapped at London Open. GJ also setting up pretty nicely. Still no top wick on the 30 minutes, but I believe if the hourly closes is like this and we break the lows, we should easily respect the high. Ooh, that's a pretty big stop. 50 pips. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so for sells on GJ at London Open, we're gonna have to be careful here because our stops are gonna be pretty big. If we close like this on a 30 minute, wick up into 160, 200, let's say, and then flip, we can have sells on the flip, stops above the current candle. Gold is laughing at us right now. Super clean candles here to the left. So yeah, if we break above 1780 and have enough volume, very high probability that we tap into 1786 today. That move may only come during New York session though. For the morning, I'd love to see us work our way up to 1780, but we need a closure just above this resistance. If we close too deep within this range, you know, the probability just decreases. You kind of want to be taking trades, you know, near a key area, a level of support or resistance. So, for instance, here we have resistance that we've marked up at 1774. Okay, so as price closes right there, you know, we are pretty close to this key area. So we could see this new candle pull down, form a bottom wick, tap into this level. So that's a low time frame retest of this resistance for price to then move up. On the break of the high, you'd have your buy stop or whatever your plan is. Stops below the previous candle for 36 pips, which is pretty big. But, you know, you've at least got a 1-to-1 moving up here to the next resistance. But now imagine this candle closed all the way up here, halfway within this range. Okay, where is your stop going to be? Below the previous candle for 50 pips? Or are you going to use current candle stops? Because current candle stops, obviously, the candle can always come back and create a new low. So I feel there's a lower probability using current candle stops. And then obviously you just don't have as much range moving up. So to take a trade off of a key level, you're always going to get a much better risk to reward. Let's just say, for instance, that were the trade. But if you're taking the trade in the middle of the range, you know, you got a bigger stop loss and a smaller target. If the wick is good enough on current candle of support, I could do current candle. $36 to 50 pips way too high on a stop for scalp day trade. I don't mind. I don't think I would go bigger than 50 pips. 50 pips, unless, you know, we have, let's say, a 100 pip target, it's not ideal. But if things are moving fast, you can easily have a 50 pip stop that actually makes sense. Because if things are very volatile, then, you know, a 50 pip stop is potentially the most logical stop. Let's go look here in Feb. Things are pretty volatile. So yeah, these hourly candles here on gold in Feb, you know, these candles were about 50 pips. So if you're going to use current or previous candle stops in this instance, you know, let's say you were to take a buy on the break of these highs for whatever reason your analysis was, and your stops below the previous candle, there you go, 50 pip stops, but it makes sense. Makes sense for your stop to be in that place. I'm not saying that trade would have made sense, but that was just an example. Yeah, look at these candles. Massive. $50 pip stop based off an hourly time frame here. Bullish candle closure of support for price to move up. and that 50 pip stop made a lot of sense. So obviously at this point in time, price was moving pretty quickly. There was a lot of volume, a lot of volatility, but you know, the market changes from day to day. So today, I don't think we'll have such big stops. Although we don't necessarily need to use the hourly candle. We'll see how this 30-minute candle closes. Not bad. 30 pips should be fine. $15-minute fake out here on GJ. 30 minutes still has no top wick, so we're just going to be patient. We've got 10 minutes until London open. Both of these pairs are actually setting up quite nicely. $4-hour and gold is a little bit more choppy than GJ. GJ, everything is quite clean here. Perfect bottom wick on the 15 minutes, so if you move up and break the highs here, you could easily continue moving up. But we've got 10 minutes until London open, so at this point, you may as well just wait for this hourly candle to close. How do you deal with losses? So, I'm going to give you a very vague answer here. Lower risk. Lowering risk is the answer to any question. Stevzo's previous message there, 36 to 50 pips, way too high stop for me. Answer, lower risk. How do you deal with losses? Lower risk. If you're struggling with your losses, you're risking too much. How do I deal with losses? Pretty well. If I'm not over risking, and I take a loss, you know, it's fine. I come back the next day, I do the same thing. It's part of the process. It's part of the game. Oh God, Shaker. I'm in 10% drawn on in phase 2. Yeah. I don't know what to say there, man. Lower risk. The other thing is, why are you taking losses? Are you following your plan? If so, then nothing to worry about. Yeah, Shaky, you got this. You got this, man. Are you with my forex fund? So you got 2% of the account left, like 2% drawdown left. Because at that point, yeah, what I would do, because I've been there. At that point, I would, like I say, lower risk, okay, and do the right things. Just chip away until you get to, you know, maybe like 5% down, and then up your lot size a little bit, and then continue that momentum. Just make sure you're doing the right things. So right now, you don't even want to be risking 1%, obviously, because then you're only left with 2 trades. So risk 0.5% or 0.25% per trade, and then, you know, it's going to maybe take you 4, 5, 6 trades to make up 1%. But like you say, you've got 50 days, so you've got plenty of time. Spread isn't that bad, man. Morning, Chris. Yeah, on my forex funds, my spread on gold right now is 1.5 pips, 2 pips. It's not too bad. GJ 1 pip. Okay, so this 30-minute candle isn't looking too bad here on GJ. Fake out, closing back below the range here. The only thing is, you know, I think it would be best to wait for a closure below support, because we don't have a whole lot of range moving back down here. We've basically already just about tapped into support and rejected, moved up a little bit. It's just, yeah, this range is just starting to get messy, so best to either wait for a closure below the range, or if we zoom out here on your new hourly, maybe we wait for that wick up, like I say, into maybe 160, 200, and then if we can get that flip of the candle, we could potentially have sales on the flip. So yeah, I basically want to see the next candle come up and create that high, and then maybe get involved here on the flip. For gold, looks like we are going to close back below resistance, so no trade here on gold. Well, we've got a minute left, we'll see how this candle closes. If we could close below support here, okay, no, 8 seconds, probably won't. But if we could close below support, that would be even cleaner. But we'd still want to see a top wick being formed on this new candle. There you go, candle closed. Gold closed, obviously below resistance here. So don't worry about gold. We're going to focus here on GJ. But we need to see a top wick being formed. So let's see, based off the hourly, let's remove this level. We'll go break even as we fill that hourly wick. Probably have sell stops on the break of the low. I haven't set them yet. I'd like to see us wick up a little bit higher. I'll set sell stops as soon as we tap into 160.80. Mm. 15-minute doesn't look bad. 18 pips. Go break even at about 10 pips. Mm. 5-minute looks clean. But yeah, we've just opened here. Come on, GJ, pull up a little bit higher. There we go. To avoid fake out, you wait for candle closures alone, or you have something else you can share. Trade with the trend. Look at the higher time frame trend. If you can see that you're moving bullish and you're looking for sells below support, that's when you're going to get faked out. Rather just wait for those bullish setups to occur and trade with the trend. It's probably the best way to avoid fake outs, very simply put. I generally wait to see how things pan out for the first 15 minutes of the open. Yeah, that's alright. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes it can be very volatile at the open, and you'll get, you know, the new candle breaking previous candle highs and lows. So that opening candle can be very volatile. But if you've got a plan and your setup is there and you've got direction, I think you can execute pretty well at London Open. Okay, we pulled up a little bit higher, formed a slightly steeper top wick. Oh, we're gonna break these lows and drive down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a sell stop on the break of the previous hourly low. So I'm gonna have a sell stop on the break of that hourly low. There you go. Sorry guys, that moved pretty quickly. I'm just gonna manually execute right here. Stops above the current candle and gonna go break even as we fill that wick. Sorry, stops above previous 15. Yeah, my bad, that moved pretty fast. Stops at 160.050. And we're gonna go break even at about 10 pips here. So pretty aggressive trade management. GJ already fell close to 200 pips from Asian today. So what's stopping it from dropping another 100 pips? We are in a downtrend. Hourly's closing below support. We've broken previous hourly lows. I'm definitely not going to take buys. Okay guys, like I say, this is going to be pretty quick. Going to move stops to break even as soon as we fill that wick. My entries are at 159.845 and I'm moving stops to break even. I haven't secured anything. Because if we break that low, we should be on our way here. Okay, looking good. There you go. There's the trade. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to close half right here. Actually, I'm going to close 75%. That's a pretty strong move down. What a beauty. Yeah, so I closed out $700 there. TP. Where's our targets here? Yeah, this has been a pretty aggressive drop here. So, you know, like Shaker said, we've already dropped 200 pips. Now, I gave my 2 cents that, you know, what's stopping us from continuing to drop? Alright, so I've executed on the idea, I've secured some profit here. But right now, we could pull back at any point. Okay. You know, the market doesn't move in one direction forever. We need to come back at some point, grab liquidity if it wants to continue to drive down. So we could pull back at any point. I'm not going to have targets all the way down here at 158. I would rather have TP at this support here to the left. Pretty clean traffic moving there. If we can break below 159,500, I believe we should easily move into 159,200, let's say. So we're gonna have take profit at 159,200. TP at 159,200. Pretty good start to the month. So yeah, that's not something that happens on the stream too often, where you guys are not completely aware of where the trade is going to be taken. So I apologize about that. Normally I'll have sell stops on the screen way beforehand, but I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked to see this candle form a slightly steeper top wick, but it made sense for price to respect the previous 15-minute high and drive down. So at that point, when I saw us create that high and starting to come back down, I thought maybe we will respect the previous 15-minute high, break the lows of the previous hourly candle, and we'll have this volume now at London open. And unfortunately, like I say, it was a little bit slow there, so I'm sorry if you guys missed the trade. 25 pips secured. Oh yeah, that's actually very true. Nothing to apologize for. You all have your own plans. That should be it. Alright. But the stream for the stream, I like to have these sell stops in place. Sell stops and buy stops. Because, if I can place a sell stop or a buy stop, you guys are well aware of what's going on and you can see everything play out. Whereas now it was like just, iffy. I don't like that. The only impulse I do is on gold, standard FX pairs. I wait for at least a 15-minute candle closure. Yep, candle closures are very, very key. Pretty much the same time as yesterday. We had pretty decent stops here. 20 pips. Same as yesterday. At least today we caught, a little bit more of the move. The streak continues. So we've closed on the 15-minute here on that support. Anything could happen at this point. Like I say, if we can break below 159,500, below these wicks, you know, this clean traffic all the way down to 159, 170. Can have targets at 159, 200. Bit of a crazy drop for GJ at the open really fast, so one to be careful about. Yeah, I find these moves at London Open, you know, often don't drive through all the way. You know, sometimes you'll see some sort of further liquidity grab before driving down. But anything can happen here. We've got pretty clean traffic to the left. That's if, like I say, if we can break below 159,500. A lot of volume here today. Asian session went crazy. London Open really nice. 25 pips in the bag. Where's the W's in the chat today? So yeah, like I say, closed on support. Price could certainly drive back up here. Gold still choppy here. I would really just avoid this whole range here. Thanks guys, appreciate it. The support here on the 15-minute did freak me out. I won't lie, but this was heavily based off the hourly time frame. Hourly candles were really clean, and you know that previous hourly candle we had a pretty steep liquidity grab, or you know, top wick grab liquidity, closed bearish. So a break of that low made sense for us to at least fill this previous hourly candle wick right here, and at that point we went break even and hadn't secured anything yet. Secured 75% here at support for about 25 pips or so, 27, 30 pips. 25, 26 pips. look at gold. Pretty interesting. But yeah, as gold moves down here, you're going to start to move into some support areas, and it's just a mess. You see, this whole area right here is pretty messy. You got weak rejections to, you know, this support area right here. But below here, you know, pretty clean candles moving back down to 159. Sorry, 1759. So that's not a bad idea. And based off the 15 minute, yeah, this range right here is nice and clean as well. So if you close below the support as planned, we could potentially have sells moving down here in gold. Yeah, it looks like we're about to hit break even here. Are we gonna survive break even? I don't know. Yeah, this 30-minute candle's about to close. You know, if we can close below support here, we can have a wick to fill, obviously moving down, but you can definitely anticipate a top wick being formed here, so we could get stopped out of break even. But we secured 25 pips here, so not too much to worry about. I'm gonna stay here until 10 o'clock. See if we can get a closure below 1770 here on gold. If we don't get that closure, obviously, if this 30-minute candle could close below the range, that's also fine. But we've only got 3 minutes here. So either a closure below on this 30 minutes or the next 30 minutes, and we could have sells. Otherwise, I'm going to be on my way. Hey Shamik, how's it going? Hey yo. Yeah, that's very true, man. Live trading is definitely different. But yeah, getting into the groove of things here, last few weeks have definitely improved. Yeah, we're taking a few losses here. Weeks like this, we have so many trades. I can look at that week and say, okay, I was fucking around. I mean, 260 pips for the week is not bad, but taking all these L's, I'm not gonna lie, is not really ideal psychologically. This isn't too bad. Lots of trades, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, you can see the improvements here the past 3 weeks, and it's not by chance. Sometimes you get tired, sick and tired of your own shit. So obviously I've been doing this for a while and been consistent. Even on the stream, it's been consistent, but all these losses are not pretty. Started out strong, and then I think as the audience built, it's kind of got to my head. I'm not gonna lie. But now at this point, you know, you could come here and say whatever you want, and it's not going to affect the trades that I'm taking or how I'm managing the trades. So yeah, definitely getting better at this whole live stream thing. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Definitely, losses are, like we said earlier in the stream, losses are part of the game. They happen. They are gonna happen. But, I want to put in the effort to minimize those losses, especially here on stream. If you guys are taking these trades, which, you do at your own discretion, I don't want you guys to come on here and take losing trades, consecutive days. So I'm really just, doing the most here to make sure that we are consistent on the stream. The other thing is, if you're following a streamer, whoever it may be, me or someone else, if you join their stream for one day, and that day just so happens to be a loss, you can't be mad at the streamer or, say you're never going to come back because, that's one trade. That's one trade. So if for the next 4 days, he has all winning trades, and you had been there for those next 4 trades, you would have been in profit. So you got to be consistent if you're going to be taking these trades. So show up every day, learn. I do tell you guys this is for educational purposes, okay? But I know people are going to take trades. Like I said, do it at your own discretion, manage risk. GJ dropped. Ooh, and I think we survived. Break even. Nice. Got about 30 perps. Looks like we're breaking that 159,500 level. So we should be well on our way here to 159,200. Appreciate the love, guys. It's really, really great to have you guys on here. I'm new on the stream and I got a winner, so thanks, man. I will be joining daily. Yeah, I love to hear that. Yeah, came up and just sniffed break even. But we survived. GJ ain't playing the last few days. No, not at all. This thing is moving. Moving. Look at it. That's a beautiful, some beautiful movement here on GJ. Love to see it. GJ sell, GJ sell, GJ sell, GJ sell. You can see here, you know, trade the trend. Haven't taken one GBPJPY in the last couple weeks. Gold, you're also selling for some time and then you started to move bullish. Now you can see on gold, bar. So, yeah. You know, when the market is in these phases, we're just following the trend. So last week, we only took buys on gold and we only took sells on GJ. And for this week, it'll most likely be the same thing. Only sells on GJ. And yeah, gold, I don't know, like I say, could get pretty choppy and we could see some consolidation. So, you know, we'll see how we can take advantage of these ranges, but I'd like to focus on buys as we move up into 1800, and then as we tap into that level, you know, like I say, we could see some more consolidation before then eventually moving down. And of course, at that point, the bias will change to bearish and we'll be focusing on those sells. Cheers, MRB Connect. No problem. Yeah, we pulled back up here. Could just be retesting this area to continue move down. currently up about 35 pips. Buys at 1765. Yeah, we'll see. It's pretty strong resistance or support area here. So yeah, makes sense. So yeah, gold's broken back into this range here. Yeah, looks like it's gonna move without us. We kind of want this 15-minute candle to close below 159,500. At that point, I don't see us stopping until 159,200. What a beautiful day, definitely. Every day is a beautiful day. Don't you think it's beautiful you could wake up in the morning and have all these opportunities? Yeah, GJ having a hard time here driving down. We'll have to see how this 15-minute candle closes. $17.70 and then you see at this point close out the majority of this position and stop so at break even. So you know, personally I get antsy sitting in a position for so long, but at this point we are risk free, so there's actually nothing to worry about here. We've secured profit already, and whatever happens to the rest of this position, we need to just accept whatever happens to it. I'm keeping an eye on it though. If we do close let's say strong bullish on this 5 minute, maybe I'll close another 15%, so I'll just have a 10% of the position to run and do its thing. Yeah, we could be rejecting that. The support here. Good morning, Partnat. Yeah, and that's why you want to wait for candle closures. This candle broke into this range, and look how it's pushed up. If we had the closure back into this range, it would make sense to have a trade here. Yeah, that's pretty wild. "15 minutes about to close, and yeah, closing above support by the looks of things, so we may get tapped out at break even here." Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the rest of this position to do whatever here. So we closed bearish, but we closed on support. You know, at this point, anything could happen in price here. you know, you could basically say that we are ranging right now here on GJ. So whichever way price decides to break out of this range, we could continue for some time. If we break out to the upside, obviously we could see further upside, you know, maybe back into this key area here. If we break out to the downside, obviously then we could maybe fill this wick and then move to our targets. What is a good broker for beginners? There's a lot of good brokers. You can check out RC markets, Dominion markets. I've got a recommended broker there in the video description as well. You can sign up with that link. But it depends on your trading style. You need to look for a broker that suits your trading style. So look for a broker if you are scalping, you know, trading how we trade here on the stream. Obviously you're going to need smaller spreads, so that's going to be a priority for you. So, you know, maybe raw spreads or 1 pip spreads, 2 pip spreads max is kind of what you want to be going for this kind of trading approach. And in terms of commission, they say per lot size you shouldn't really be paying more than $7 commission. And there's a lot of brokers out there with $3 commission per lot size. So, you know, just be aware of what you as a trader need. If you are swing trading, you can maybe get away with an account with bigger spreads and lower commissions. For me, I'll pay the commissions because I need the lower spreads. Nah, no re-entries for me. Right now, yeah, you know, I'd maybe want to see price pull back again to get involved in sales. Right now, obviously I'm going to be a little bit more reserved because I've already taken a trade here and I don't want to waste my profits. But yeah, I suppose a closure below 1595.80 or 159500, you could potentially then have a re-entry. Just personally, I won't be entering sales here again. Which broker gives low spreads for scalping? You can try RC markets or Dominion markets or Blueberry markets. Blueberry markets is also pretty good. Pretty good spreads, no commission on gold. Yeah, I forgot about Blueberry markets. And in terms of leverage, you shouldn't need much more than 100 to 1. Or is it 1 to 100? leverage is a double-edged sword. So it gives you the ability to make a lot more money, but of course, then you have the risk of losing a lot more money. So leverage, you know, you don't want to go overboard. Unless you're trying to flip an account, which obviously, you know, I don't promote that kind of thing. Definitely, brother. Patience is key. I think I will wait for New York session open. I can't see a clear setup where I can enter with confidence. Patience is key. Spot on. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Don't force trades. Just wait for your setups to come to you. And like this man said, you know, wait for setups where you can enter with confidence. So then you know that if you lose that trade, it is what it is. But if you had forced the trade and then you lose it, you feel like an idiot. Or if you force the trade and win it, then you're starting to develop bad habits. One of the most valuable things that I ever heard was you need to be doing things that you can repeat. That's how you develop consistency in trading. So, you know, today was on the hourly a closure below support, a break below the previous hourly low. You know, those things I see every day, and I can repeat those things. So if I were to, you know, have taken some sort of other setup today and I won, I would have been developing bad habits because, you know, maybe I want to try that again tomorrow and it might not work tomorrow. Whereas if I stick to my plan, I know that, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 times out of 10 that's going to play out. So be patient, wait for those setups where you can enter with confidence. Yeah, I think we're gonna move down on GJ. Really want to see this hourly close below 159,500. At that point, we should be safe to continue down to our targets here. Still got 25% of this position running. Do you strictly trade gold and GJ? Yeah, for the most part. Here on the stream, you probably won't see me trade anything else, but sometimes I venture off into US 30 or Nasdaq. I used to trade US 30 and Nasdaq. I used to only trade Nasdaq, Nas 100. The previous 5-minute closed nice and bearish. This 5 minutes pulled up, so if we can flip bearish on this 5 minutes, we could drive a little bit further down and get a nice closure here on the hourly. But if we break the highs of this previous 5 minute, then yeah, we'll most likely get stopped out at break even. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. With indices, you know, I believe pretty heavily in price action. But with indices, they are tricky. It's pretty volatile. If you think about it, basically it's an index of a whole lot of different stocks, and all of these stocks are moving individually. So in my mind, because that's the case, indices can move quite randomly, and you know, well, the markets in general move randomly, but indices I feel move a little bit more randomly. Okay, we get some really nice moves on indices, but yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie. You know, if I'm trading them, I'm still following normal price action, but I'm being a little bit more patient. Sometimes I'm trading more on the lower time frame. But yeah, let's not talk about indices. Obviously, I'm not trading them right now, so I couldn't tell you, you know, the best way to trade them. There goes your 5-minute flipping bearish. Come on, GJ. Close below. I most likely won't take another trade here on stream today, but obviously I'd like to see this runner play out. So let's say I'll stay for another 15 minutes, see how this trade plays out, and we'll call it a day. Hey from Indonesia. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. Great to have you here today. Okay, not the best closure. Close on support. So yeah, we could get stopped out of break even here. I only use a mentor of mine said you should trade outside the box, meaning timing. Whatever is inside the box is random. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure I understand. Let's see how gold closed. Yeah, I mean, hourly closed below the support with the wick to fill. But it's, yeah, I don't like this range. Price is sitting in right now. I was gonna sell GJ if we had a 15-minute close below support. Yeah, would have been your best bet, but this closure is not ideal. Yeah, no clue what he was talking about either, though. Yeah, bro, I don't know what box you're talking about. Guys, I'm gonna be right back. We're just sitting here to see how this trade plays out. I already closed 25 pips here. 75% at 25 pips. So whatever happens here happens, but we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, if we don't hit break even or TP in the next 15-20 minutes, I'm gonna call it a day. I don't think I'm gonna have any more trades here. Just give me a second, I'm gonna be right back. Cheers, bro. Thanks. J-Wait doesn't want to break support. Yeah. Taking trades at certain times of the day yields consistency. I'm sure you can attest from backtesting. Sorry guys, my dog was going crazy. Yeah, that's very true. XAUUSD, FX, you know, it makes complete sense. And I say the same thing. In order to have consistency in your trading, be consistent in your life, in your routine. So, for your trading to be consistent, you can't expect to get that consistency by taking trades at random times throughout the day. Okay? So that's why it's best to focus on one session. You can develop consistency in that one session. You're trading at the same time every day. If you're trading one pair or two pairs, you're learning how those pairs move within that session, that time, and you're doing the same thing day in, day out, and that's how you develop consistency. So if you can't be consistent in your routine, then don't expect to be consistent in the markets. You need to be at the chart same time every day. Price is going to move pretty similarly throughout the day, whether it be Asian, London, or New York session. You know, closures below support, above resistance, you know, straightforward. trends, structure, it's going to be pretty much the same, but there's little nuances to each different session. So with New York, now there's a lot that goes on in New York session. Okay, we've got New York open at 2. We have a lot of news that comes out at 2:30 generally, and then you've got NYSE open at 3:30. Obviously, these are all my times, but understanding that different timing for New York session, especially, is going to be crucial. Okay, understanding the timing of your trades, because there's very little volume at New York open. There's news at 2 or 2:30, should I say? And let's say that news comes out and um, whatever, let's say not too much happens. You know that your next best bet is going to be at 3:30 NYSE open, because that's the next time where volume will kick in. Now with New York session, okay, we've got the New York open and we've got Asian close around 10:11, depending on what website you looked at. We spoke about this the other day, but I'm going to work with 11 o'clock as being Asian close. We've seen some nice days. We will consolidate the whole morning on gold, and then right at 11 o'clock Asian close, we'll see some nice movement. So those little nuances, you know, with the different sessions are going to make all the difference. What's up with my internet? Yeah, and you can see all of that timing that I'm talking about in the market. So, you know, this is pre-Asian, and then Asian Open. Obviously, we pulled back, and then this is just all Asian Open volume moving price down. And then volume will die down for a little bit of time after the open. We'll pull back, and then you could say that this move down was pre-London, okay, and then we had a open, and then London Open, okay, price had a nice move down. Yeah, I'm from SAO. So like I say, you can see all of these things that I'm talking about reflected in the markets. You can go back here and we can see, yesterday we also had a nice big move throughout Asian session, and then obviously when volume dies down, you'll see price consolidate for some time. And I guess this was the move in London, this move up. Consolidated throughout New York. Obviously, some days on GJ, New York will be slow because it's got nothing to do with the dollar. But some days you will see some really nice movement. Obviously, later in the day you had a pretty clean move down. That came around New York. So yeah, throughout New York session you actually have the London overlap. So you also have London close. And I think that's about where this move down started. So London close down, and then leading into New York close, price started to move down. After New York close, you can see how these candles got really small, very low volume. Okay, and then we broke below support here at pre-Asian and price moved down nicely. So being aware of the timing is crucial. So yeah, XAUUSD, you do have a point. I didn't understand the way you put it initially, but you are very, very right. So yeah, break even on the way. Looks like we're moving back up. So there's the trade for the day. Yeah, MetaTrader is terrible to work with. Terrible. So this is why we use TradingView to do our analysis. You can see how much easier it is to manipulate the chart in a way that, you know, you can see the way you want to see it. Not a fan of the US session. The US guys are crazy, man. They whip it mad. That is so true. US session is very volatile because you have all of those little nuances like I mentioned. New York Open, news at 2:30, NYSE Open, COMEX Open. I didn't even mention that earlier. COMEX, it's another one. Lots of little things going on during NY session. So that's why NY session, you know, if I'm trading NY session, which I do, not every day. Yesterday I did. But you want to be careful and manage risk wisely, because you can get into 10, 20, 30 pips quite easily, but just beware, because the price is going to come back. 9 times out of 10 it's going to come back. So just make sure you're securing profit. Guys, I'm going to get a webcam soon so you can see me on the stream. I don't know if you want to see my ugly face, but yeah, man, I think it would be cool to have a webcam and you can watch me drink my coffee in the mornings. Come on, GJ. 15-minute candle close, bullish. We're driving down with no top wick. Maybe I'll stay a little bit longer. We'll see how gold closes here. If we can close below support, like I was speaking about earlier, we have Asian session close coming up soon, and oftentimes we can see some volume on gold around 11 o'clock. The Connor Abrams show. Because yeah, for most of the morning today, we've consolidated. So what is the next time volume may kick in? Most likely Asian close or pre-New York. Look at yesterday. Prime example, exactly what I've been talking about. Look at how price was consolidating. So in London Open, we did have a move up, consolidated until 11 Asian close, and we had this strong move up. Beautiful example. '30-minute looks like it's about to flip bearish. So yeah, we could still jump. You cared. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna trade it, but you know, like I say, if you've got time, we can have a look at these things. You can also official for, you know, not just me, but everyone else, so we can see what you're looking at. The Discord channel, you can get the invite link in the video description. Seems like my internet is lagging a little bit. Yeah, sorry, my internet's quite slow at the moment. I don't know what's going on, so not gonna do this analysis right now. How is the stream for everybody else? It seems a little bit laggy on my side. Oh gosh. Well, looks like we're about to get stopped at break even anyway. Gold, yeah, just messing around here within this range. And there we go, break even on GJ. It's the day, guys. I'm not too sure what's up with the stream. A little bit laggy at the moment, so I'm gonna have a look at that. Try to sort that out, but I'm done here. That's the stream for the day. So thank you so much for joining. Hope some of you guys caught those GJ sells. Nice little move down for London Open. Other than that, it's actually been a pretty slow day here. So yeah,